here she is. What a beautiful, beautiful, peaceful piece for me. Oh, it's exactly what I wanted, needed. Oh, it was so good. So this piece, all these pieces are from like different pieces, and I'll show you in a second. Same with the background. There's a few like bingo cards and stuff like that that are in the collage pack, but most of these are new things that I found. I took a trip to Phoenix last week and needed to just kind of go. I needed a break. I needed to go home and rest. And I say home, and I'll talk about that in a minute. Needed to go back to Phoenix and just kind of rest and be with my people and kind of put some perspective between business and art and all that kind of stuff. I have a drink because my throat is sore. It's cold outside. So while I was home, we went, of course, shopping every day because I helped a friend move into her space and get her all decorated, and that is my thing. But while we were shopping, we were antique shopping, of course, I came across this. This is a leather bound book. Well, it's a leather, I don't know, it's a leather pouch or whatever, but it's somebody's life insurance. This gentleman here. And I don't know, this is like sacred ground. Initially, when I just kind of opened it up and I saw all these stacks of things, I just grabbed it up because the price was right. And I didn't really look inside of it. I just saw this cool, aged, yummy goodness, leather. Oh, I was like, yes, please. When I got home and I was trying, and I was excited about this because I thought, oh, this is going to be a great collage pack of, you know, stuff. And these are envelopes. Each one has like documents in them of this person's life. And it suddenly became really sacred ground. It was just I mean, I watched the growth of this person from 1930, what was it, 1930, where is it? 1936, he was 21 years old, and he's in the Air Force. And he was first an enlisted man. I mean, I went through the whole story is here. An enlisted man, and then he was a lieutenant and an officer, and over the years, I mean, over to 1986. I mean, I'm wowed and awed and feel just so special about this thing. But in the envelopes are his life story, basically. Different things. Just, I mean, so I did some checking and looked up this person and kind of found some story and history, and in the process of all of this paperwork, he got married, he had kids, I mean, and so I decided not to make this a collage pack because it just didn't feel right. It was too sacred, and there was a lot of personal information in there, and I thought, I just don't feel okay about it. I am using it in the backgrounds here, but just in bits and pieces that I mean, nothing super personal, but like 1944 and dates like 1941 and different things like that. That I will use, the old typewriter that doesn't give away too much information. Otherwise, this is a beautiful story. They were married for 62 years. I teared up, I cried. I was so blessed. And he was in the Air Force, and they moved all over the place. They were everywhere. And it's all in here, in this story of somebody's life. And so I'm not going to make this collage pack. So sorry, but it was too special, too sacred. But all of these pieces I cut up for the nest and that kind of thing. This bird is actually in a collage pack. This is one of my stencils, the bird stencil. Yeah, so my and I love it when all of this kind of comes together. So when I went home to Phoenix because I was feeling homesick and just feeling a little out of sorts and lost. Went home and was super sad when I landed because I saw the desert and and all of those things, and we're just like, oh. But once I got there, it wasn't really home. It wasn't home. I didn't feel like Ohio was home. Phoenix didn't feel like home. I'm like, I have no home. And then throughout the trip, I'm like, I do have a home. I have a home in the hearts of my people. That the location doesn't really matter. Like this family, they traveled everywhere, and their story stayed together. And it didn't matter. It doesn't matter where I am, location-wise. Home is in the hearts of those who know me and who I can know, where we can get down to the nitty-gritty and know they know everything. I mean, they know the deep of the deep, dark, yucky, and they know that my highest mountaintops and are there with me to cry and to celebrate, and vice versa. And that is home. Home doesn't mean it's in Ohio or in Phoenix. It's wherever I am known. And that was like this kind of coming together for me of like, okay, all right, so Ohio is home, and home is my husband here and my kids and my grandbabies and that kind of thing, and being known, my heart in their hearts here. The other part of the story is that here, now I kind of have to take the risk, or I don't kind of, see me, this is what I'm doing. Now I have to take the risk to be known here. And that's really scary, to be known. To let your guard down enough for people to see the stuff that we really try to hide, the OCD, the bad habits, the this, the that, whatever it is, whatever. To tell your history, which, my history, just to like come out and say it, you gotta kind of ease people into some of that. At least I do. But I have to take a risk to be known. And that is super duper scary, because you risk being rejected, which for me, like my ultimate fear. And you risk people not being sacred with your story. Super scary. Those are really big, scary reasons why we stay cocooned up in our little space and don't reach out. But to be known and to know is where home will always be. Always. And so that's one of my goals for this next year, in the next month, in the next year, is to step outside my little cocoon here in my studio and risk telling my story to those that are, because I tell my story kind of here, but to tell my story face to face, intimate with people who can really say, I don't like you because of it, is really, really hard, and takes a lot of courage, lots of courage. But if we can get past that and develop those relationships, the comfort and the home comes. So that's my big with my trip. I love it when that happens. I love it when things like this kind of, it's like the whole, like, okay, God, I got it, thank you, or universe, or whatever you want to say, I get it, and I got the message, and I have to learn from it, and take it, and grow, and step out, and risk. Risk is so scary. My friends, I hope that you have home in the hearts of someone, that someone knows you so deeply, so intimately, the good and the bad, and they love you in spite of it, because of it, for it, that you trust somebody like that. I suppose we never truly let everything out, I don't know. But that's the place where we'll find growth and intimacy and courage and the things that help life be better are in those places where we allow someone to know us fully. And that is where we will find home. That is where I will find home. Lovies, this Sunday, take an account of who knows you, and if no one does, I'm telling you, it's worth it. It's scary, but it's worth it to be known in such a way, to tell our stories, because our stories matter. And if we take the risk, sometimes that's the point when somebody else will take the risk too. So very important. All right, loves, I hope your Sunday is amazing. Hope you get rest, and I hope you always, always know that you are loved.